The Great American Road Trip is a true bucket list item for so many of us, and yet sadly, few of us will ever actually make it happen in our lifetime. Today though, I've traveled to Wilmington, North Carolina to meet an adventurous young couple who have taken an ex-school bus and transformed it into an incredible off-grid home on wheels that lets them and their family take life to the road. G'day Luke.
Hey, how's it going?
Good mate. Hey Rachel, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Lovely to meet you guys.
Yeah, you too.
This is a bus that looks like it is absolutely kit out for adventure.
It is.
Yeah.
How did you guys actually come up with the idea of converting a school bus and taking it on the road?
It was actually kind of a friend that tipped us off to the whole idea of a schoolie, which is what this is called. And we thought about it, talked about it, and we never even knew what it was, honestly, but within 2 months of even hearing they existed, we bought a bus.
And you did all of the conversion work on this yourself, didn't you?
We did, yeah. We've done everything ourselves. It took us about 1.5 years, but now it's finished and it's on the road.
When you start a project like this, did you already have skills? Did you know what you were doing, or was it a big learning curve?
A little bit of both. I've definitely done a lot of work in the trades, about 10 years, and welding and fabricating and all that is kind of my usual forte, but we had to learn a lot to, do all of the components, the electrical, the solar.
And this is a bus that really looks like it's designed to go places as well. I see you've got quite a bit of solar on the roof. You're off the grid in this thing, I'm assuming?
Yes, completely off the grid. I've got like 900 watts of solar and a 4 battery bank and plenty of ground clearance for when we want to play Jeep.
And you've even got some extra toys strapped to the bus as well for when you're parked up?
Yep, that's for, once we roll into a city or somewhere where the driving gets a little too tight for a giant school bus, we can park it and grab the bikes.
Well, I can't wait to have a look inside and see what you've done with the place.
All right, let's check it out.
All right. Oh, this is seriously cool. This is way higher than most of the buses I've seen before as well. You've obviously done a bit of work extending it.
Yeah, we've raised the roof 20 inches from the original bus height.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an undertaking, but as a welder, I was willing to give it a shot.
It really makes all the difference as well, because it's totally opened up the space, and this is probably one of the most spacious feeling buses I've ever been inside.
It definitely helps to feel a lot wider than it is by not seeing the ceiling right in your line of vision. Also,
the way that you've actually put the wood on the ceiling as well definitely helps to give it more of that homely feel. Standing inside here right now, it does not at all feel like being inside a bus.
That was one of the goals with raising the roof, was to make it feel less like a bus and more like an actual home.
We're in the kitchen right now, and it's a great size, isn't it? You've got a lot of room here to work.
Yeah. It's awesome. I am used to being in the kitchen. I was a baker before we moved into this, so the kitchen is my place, so I definitely wanted a big one.
It's things like that that can make all the difference, eh? You don't want to be compromising on the things that you have to do day to day.
Yeah.
So if you're cooking in pokey little spaces, it can really make small space living difficult.
Definitely. Yeah. And with this kitchen, we're able to cook any meal that we were able to do in our old house. We haven't really had to compromise. We actually ended up with some extra storage.
Yeah.
We didn't even end up filling up all the cabinets with kitchen stuff alone. It worked out great.
And the living space is a really nice size area as well. You've got the lovely dining table here, good size sofa, and no home is really complete without a wood fire, is it?
Right. That really completes the homey touch. And our living room actually does a lot more than you'd see. So like the table can fold down up against the wall, and both chairs are stackable, so you can kind of open up this whole space. And the couch as well can fold out into a bed, and it has storage underneath. So again, making use of all of the multifunction of the furniture. But what I love about this is it still just works completely as it is without having to do anything. If you need a table, you don't have to go through all of the effort right now of folding it out every time you want a meal. Right, and that was a big consideration because we definitely, like you said, don't want to have to go through steps just to use something that we use every single day. So the table is always up, but it can go down, the chairs can stack, the couch can fold into a bed, but as it is, it's normally ready to use. Now, which of you is the designer here? Because there's some seriously cool little design touches all over this bus, eh? Like these really cool light fittings and the feature wall.
I think we both kind of had our own input here and there. The light fixture was actually made by my father-in-law. He designed it, and then I actually did the entire barnwood wall on my own. That was kind of the one thing that I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of both have little touches here and there.
So through here we have the bathroom.
So this is our bathroom.
It's actually a lovely size for a bus, isn't it? You've managed to pack a lot into this space.
Yeah, we did. So it's a full bathroom, and it's smaller than some houses, but you live in a bus, so you kind of have to make some changes. But we have a full shower and tub for our daughter, and toilet and sink and everything.
Composting toilets are really popular in tiny houses, and it's a brilliant solution, especially if you're static. But what's it actually like having a composting toilet and using it on the road?
It's actually probably one of the better decisions we made because we knew we didn't want a black tank. We actually weren't really sold on the composting toilet when we put it in, but we just really didn't want to have to deal with dumping a black tank, especially because we want to be able to be off-grid for as long as possible. And we felt like if we had a tank that we had to dump, then that would kind of hinder that. So far, composting toilet has been the way to go. We haven't had any problems with it really, and it's definitely easy to live with.
And then through here we have your bedrooms. And
Yes.
believe it or not, there's actually 2 in this house, isn't there?
So our daughter sleeps below us, kind of perpendicular in her little, it's like a crib-sized mattress, and she usually has a little curtain that kind of clips across the space to black out the light if she's napping, and then obviously we're up here.
And it does look like a really comfortable space to sleep.
It definitely does the job.
Yeah. And we didn't loft it too high where you don't even have room to sit up. We've never had any issue with hitting our heads or being too close to the ceiling or anything.
So how long have you guys actually been living in the bus now?
We've been in the bus for a year now.
And what was it actually like adjusting to life on the road?
It took a little bit of time, especially since we moved in before the bus was actually finished. We had a lot of just extra things everywhere and tools and ladders kind of in our living space, so that made it a little difficult. But I'd say after a few weeks, all 3 of us had adjusted pretty well to living in 220 square feet.
Especially with the little one, because how old is she now?
She's 2.5 now. She was 18 months when we moved in.
A lot of people would say you were really brave for taking to the road with a toddler.
Yeah, it was definitely something, you know, we thought hard about, but with her being so young when we moved in, I feel like it actually made it easier for her to adapt. She was only 18 months old, and she's adapted very quickly, and as scary as it may sound, this is totally normal to her now. So she loves it.
What an amazing childhood as well, being able to explore and see all of the US, and what a great way to actually learn about the world as a child.
We definitely considered homeschooling as an option for the future, but I mean, even as young as she is, we've been able to teach her so much. She already has 13 states memorized on the map, and I don't think most 2-year-olds could say the same.
Just some of the things we've got to experience, especially for her with, 1, making new friends, but 2, just the wildlife that we get to see up close and just all the different things that she gets to experience as a child that most people don't get to see in their adult life.
There are so many people out there who I think would love to consider this kind of lifestyle and live the kind of way that you guys do. But I think a lot of people are really worried about how it can be sustainable and how they can support themselves traveling on the road. How do you guys make that work?
I work for Plexus, which is a health and wellness company, so I am able to do that from anywhere as long as I have my phone and connections.
Yeah, and I've been just trying to find odd jobs and handyman things. So I travel with all my tools and have been just looking to find that kind of work.
And what about the cost of this actual project? How much did the bus and the conversion and everything cost you?
We actually get asked that a lot, and we don't have a truly honest answer because we've never actually added it up. We have all the receipts, and we're kind of scared to, know what we've actually spent on a school bus, but we kind of guess that maybe we've spent about $30,000.
30,000 is a great figure. I mean, you've got a really beautiful home here. And when you think about that investment and the lifestyle that you actually are able to live as a result of it, that is really cool.
Yeah, when you compare it to the cost of an actual home, it's substantially less. And we weren't afraid to spend a little money on it because it is our home. We sold our 1,500 square foot house, and this is our only home now.
Well, I'm sure that so far you've only just scratched the surface of the incredible adventures you're going to have in this bus. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful home with me.
Definitely. Thanks for coming in.
This project has been so well done. I have to keep reminding myself that right now, I'm actually standing in a converted school bus. What impresses me most about Luke and Rachel's story though is the way that they took limited resources but transformed it into an incredibly big life on the road for their family. I think we can all find a lot of inspiration in that.